Alright. Number 5 is Ed, and Eddy. A lot of people hate this show, and I can see why. I mean, it's very mean spirited. It has an entire cast of characters that are very unlikable, but it's one of those shows that does mean spirited correctly. So, yes, I don't think this is a bad show. So this show revolves around three boys named um Ed, Ed with two D's, double D, and Eddy. They're the Eds. And they live in a cul-de-sac with other um kids. And so most episodes revolve around these boys trying to get jawbreakers, which are a type of candy. So yeah, even though the plot is very simple, like it's a bunch of get rich quick schemes and everything, like I think the show captures the essence of childhood very well. Like I want to live in a cul-de-sac like they do, like not with mean people in it, but I think it would be cool to live in a cul-de-sac because I live in a plain old apartment. And yeah. And I think the art style is very creative, especially for a Canadian show. Nowadays, Canadian cartoons all look the same. They use the same Adobe Flash, but this looks pretty good. And this show's way better than the Brothers Grunt. And yeah. My favorite character has to be Double D. He's just so sweet, kind, and smart. And it's probably the nicest character on the show. Number 4 is Steven Universe. Yes, this show rocks. The fan base is completely awful, but this show is not awful. In fact, it's the best modern Cartoon Network show. So this show revolves around a boy named Steven, who's half human and half gem, which is a type of alien that have gemstones on their bodies. And he's a member of the Crystal Gems who protect for a group of rebel gems who protect the Earth. Like everything about the show is perfect. It's even one of my favorite shows of all time. Um so the animation is absolutely gorgeous to look at. Especially during the nighttime scenes, the clouds in the sky just look very beautiful. And the characters are all very likable too. My favorite crystal gem has to be Pearl. Pearl is just awesome. She's adorable. She's a perfectionist. She's very relatable. All the characters are very deep and flawed. They're very realistic. And they had development over the series. Like, at first I thought the series was very annoying, but once you get into it, it starts to be very good. The show has tons of story arcs and everything. Like, there's tons of lore, and I want to find out more about Homeworld and the Gem War and everything like that. Also, the songs are epic. There's tons of great songs in the series. Stronger Than You, Here Comes the Thought, It's Over, Isn't It, What's Used to Feeling Blue, and those are just the ones off the top of my head. I hope the show keeps running for many more years to come. Number 3 is Samurai Jack. I know. The 5th season, which is great by the way, was on Adult Swim, but the show's 4 seasons originally aired on Cartoon Network, so that officially makes it a Cartoon Network show, so that's why I put it in the list. Anyways, this show is absolutely amazing, and is the best show that Genndy Tartakovsky has made. In fact, it's the best creation of Genndy Tartakovsky, since he also did some work for Sony. So yeah. Right. Samurai Jack is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful animation, beautiful music, beautiful everything. So, this show revolves around a samurai warrior named Jack who gets trapped in the future and he has to get back to the past. As simple as that, but the show is very complex. It has epic action scenes and everything like that. It's just very awesome to watch. And the music is, like I said, it was beautiful. The show doesn't have that much dialogue, but it doesn't need it. It can tell. This show is a good example of how you can tell a story without dialogue. And Aku is one of the best cartoon villains of all time. He's just so awesome. And, like, he has awesome lines. Like, hilarious lines, like, extra thick. Yeah. Like, the show rocks. Number 2 is Courage the Cowardly Dog. Out of all the original cartoons, this one is the best. So, this show has a very simple premise. So, the show revolves around this dog named Courage who lives in the middle of nowhere with his 2 elderly owners. But in every episode, there's a monster that Courage has to face, and he has to save his owners and stuff like that. Like this show is very scary. Like, there's tons of creepy stuff, weird stuff happening, but it's not scary just for the sake of being scary. Like, I have a theory that the monsters that Courage sees are just figments of his feelings. And like I said, the show is scary, but it's scary in a good way. I like its creepiness. Like, the atmosphere just feels Halloweeny to me. This show can be very emotional and beautiful at times too. Like, there's Remembrance of Courage Past, Perfect, The Mask, Lost of the Stormmakers, all great episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, they're all beautiful and emotional. The Mask in particular is something I would expect to see in an adult cartoon, not a cartoon for kids. So that episode, like, had an abusive boyfriend character in it. There was a metaphor for rape, and there was a lesbian couple in it. But unfortunately, that episode is why the show got cancelled, which is very sad. The creator actually wants to continue the show, but I hope Cartoon Network accepts it, because most of the reboots are trash. Like, this could be a good reboot if it gets made, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, guys, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's all the ultra this. The number 1 best Cartoon Network show of all time is Teen Titans Go! Just kidding, just kidding. It's the original show. Teen Titans. Yes. This show, even though it's not an original show and is an acquisition from Warner Brothers, is the best Cartoon Network show of all time. Like, and I'm so glad that's airing in reruns again. At least the reruns take away more slots from Teen Titans Go, which airs way too much on the channel. Anyways, this is my 3rd favorite show of all time. With my top 2 favorite shows being Gravity Falls and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like Avatar, this show has a sort of anime art style, but it's not anime. But I can see how people would think it might be. Like, it has J-pop singers singing the theme song, like Puffy on Yumi. So yes. Like, this show has tons of action. The action scenes are very awesome and feel very realistic. As a matter of fact, the characters are likable too. They've each had their own story arcs throughout the seasons, and they develop over time. Like, by the end of the show, they weren't the same people that they were at the beginning of the show. They've changed and grown. By the way, the animation is absolutely beautiful. Yes, everything about the show is perfect, which is why it's number 1 on my list. And I hope they make season 6 because it ended on a cliffhanger. And thanks for watching my video, guys. Bye.